We practiced well. I think um, our scout teamers really did a good job, and I think we had good focus. I think we got the work done that we needed to get done, and looking forward to finishing up this thing tomorrow as far as what we'll do on the field, and then just hone it down to the things that we really feel strongly that we can execute and call them and play ball and let our guys play fast, knowing that they're certain of what to do, and see if we can out-execute them there. And that's hard to do. That's a great trademark for Missouri football is how consistent they play and how great they play fundamentally over the years. So it'll be a heck of a challenge for us. But we're looking forward to playing the game, looking forward to being under the lights. We're looking forward to the dog walk and our fan base and our student body. Just the whole thing is going to be great. We got a question.
You addressed it earlier in the week. You said you were looking at third down conversions.
Right.
That was a big thing.
Worked hard.
Yeah. So how's that?
Today was a big day for that. You never know till you get in the game and do it, but I think we've got a good plan. I think we were throwing and catching well, and when there's runs built into it as well. So. Again, that's kind of an example of, we just need to make sure whatever we call in that situation, that we really can execute well, that we really understand it well. And I'd rather run the same play 2 or 3 times and execute it, rather than have this scheme, that scheme, and then maybe not be able to do it as well. So. I think we're on the right track, but the proof's in the pudding. So I can't say we're doing better on third and long or third and medium or third and short unless we do better in the game.
To follow on that, obviously at the end of the game, you're in a press situation. You basically have to play 2 minutes a lot there toward the end, and you guys really moved. Grayson really moved the team. You had an opportunity
Very
to
well.
score when Reggie doesn't catch it, and then you couldn't have been any farther back
Right.
than you started in that last drive.
Right.
Is that in some way an indication like that's the way he's got to play, or the offense has to go? Or is that
I thought they did a nice job of moving the ball down the field, like you said, in a short amount of time and a long way to go. And I think we had at least 2 third down conversions in that drive, maybe 3, I don't know. And I don't know if we need to go. You can't really go into a 1-minute drill, so to speak, on a one-play type situation. But it just goes to show if you do block and you do run routes correctly and put it on the money, you got a chance to move the chains. That's the big thing.
Coach, in terms of the third down issue, how much of it is putting yourself in situations to be successful on third down, on first and second down?
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. It's huge. The question was, on the third downs, basically you're saying how many times is it third and long, and way too many times it was third and long, and more times it was third and over 10. So that's either because of a penalty or because of a negative yardage play somewhere along the way. So we just, like you say, first and second down is so crucial. The game that we were clicking the most was South Carolina, but I think we only had 3 or 4 first downs the whole game. So we did great on first and second down. We did so good we didn't have a third down. And there's a couple times that at the end of a game, you'll run the ball no matter what. Vanderbilt, we had about 2 or 3 drives. We were just trying to use as much clock as possible, and you're still allowed to get a first down, but you start to run the ball no matter what the down and distance is. Sometimes that'll affect it, but like I said this before, if you pull the 3-minute stats out and you just take it from there, the percentage just is not what it needs to be. And you're right, we need to do a better job on first and second down, allowing ourselves to have a more manageable third down situation.
Mark, you're talking about running the routes correctly. You lost 2 pretty good receivers from last year's team. You have a position coach there that isn't here anymore. Is there a transition period going on?
I think, the big thing is the guys that really have had a lot of experience is 81 and Malcolm, Davis and Malcolm. And Isaiah had a little bit of experience, but he pulled his hamstring. And now we got Terry Godwin in there who's had no experience. So we're definitely, and he's run a couple routes that weren't quite what they ought to be. And when that happens, you can get in trouble back there. And then we've got most of our backups are true freshmen. And because of that, we're probably not playing them as much as you'd like to play your second team guys. We really need to force ourselves to get them in the ball game, because that's really the only way they'll develop. They will develop in practice, but they'll develop more when they get in the game. And we probably need to do a better job of giving those guys opportunities. But there's a lot of learning going on for sure, because there's just not that many guys that have had reps. Who we had? Conley. We had Michael Bennett. Was there another? We had Rump. At least those guys left us, and it did leave a little bit of a void there.
Mark, on the other side of the ball, after a couple of rough outings by the secondary the past couple games, how was, I guess, their preparation and practice
Right.
for this week, for Saturday?
It's a lot like we were just talking about with the receivers. There's a pretty young bunch there. There's some freshmen playing and starting and backing up for sure. But we haven't given up a lot of big plays. We've given up a couple here and there. They're learning to support the run and tackle in space better. They're growing. I think they're getting better, and they've been pretty solid, I would say.
The pass rush. Jordan, Leonard, not the numbers that,
Right.
Where do you think that is?
Somebody asked me that the other day, and I think, a lot of that is you just got to get people into that passing mode, either by them being behind and feeling like they got to throw it more often, or getting them in third and long enough to where they feel like they got to throw the football. And that's when you really can tee off and get some of these sacks. Because if people are running the ball well and play action pass and all that kind of thing, it's very difficult to transition from a run to a pass rush, because you do have some run responsibilities even though you're an edge guy. So the key is to get people in a situation where it's a must-throw situation. Now Missouri throws it a good bit, but they get the ball out pretty quick. They don't drop back and hold the ball and pat it a few times and all that. It's quick screens. It's bubbles. It's what people are calling run pass option plays, and they've got a good vertical passing game. But even then, they do a nice job of getting rid of the ball. They don't hold it too long. So it's going to be hard to get sacks against a team like this. But the only way we'll do it is if we put them in a position where they have to throw instead of just wanting to throw whenever they choose to.
Is Jenkins out?
He's day to day. He hasn't gone yet though, but he's got a chance. But right now he's not. He didn't work today. John, he's got a little turf toe issue. I don't know how long that'll last. It's just kind of a pain tolerance thing.
You have 3 captains this week.
Mm-hmm.
Is it special teams you didn't pick one?
Well, actually, Davis got voted on both.
Oh, okay.
He got voted special teams and offense, the second offensive guy. So I just said, let's leave it. Let's honor him, in the way he deserved. And so that's what we did. It is maybe the first time, 15 years I only had 3 maybe, but that's the reason for it.
Who picks the defensive one? Because Josh Dawson couldn't help but notice didn't register a tackle.
Yeah. Josh. The defensive staff chooses that, and he's a senior. He's a veteran. He tries to do things the Georgia way. We appreciate his work ethic and his leadership. And sometimes it's hard to lead when you're not getting a lot of reps in the game, but we appreciate how he goes about his business.
One more, anybody?
With a guy like Jay Rome, do you think his contribution to that tight end room, is it more his experience and his leadership, or is it what he can do whenever his number's called?
Well, you know what? It's a good question. He definitely is. He is a team guy. He does help the young players. He's not selfish with that. And when his number's called, so far he's really done a nice job. And I appreciate Jay a lot, like I appreciate Josh Dawson. You know, a veteran, a guy who cares about Georgia, cares about his teammates, and has certainly been an encouragement to them and really the whole team. He's one of the more positive influences we have on this team, and appreciate again how he goes about his business as well. Is that it? All right, gang.